There's a child that's 11 years old who was adopted in 2018 by his mom and his dad, having a lot of mental issues. Apparently, according to his mother, she went to the school and asked for help with the school, but because he wasn't showing any behaviors at school, they basically said that it was okay, for him to have issues at home because he feels comfortable. That's a good thing. Him being adopted, showing that, you have a bond. And, all that good stuff that they like to say at school. And basically, they said that they couldn't really help her. Didn't apparently offer any other outside sources that, they could use to help with the issues that they were having at home. So the mom was basically desperate. She's been trying to get the kid help as much as she could, but kept getting the roadblocks, which I know very well because I've been through this. The child ends up getting upset with dad. He did something. He lost his Nintendo Switch. He asked for the Nintendo Switch back. Apparently dad said no, that he was, grounded and he wasn't able to get it right then. And he waited until mom and dad went to sleep. They had apparently a gun that was locked in the house, and the child found the key for the gun. I guess he was searching through dad's drawers or whatever, found the key for the gun, unlocked the gun, loaded the gun, and went into his parents' bedroom and shot his father in the head. Like I said, both parents were sleeping, so it woke up the mother, and he comes running in the room saying that his daddy's dead, his daddy's dead. Apparently when he was interviewed later by officers, everything that he did, he admitted all the way from A to Z, beginning to end. So apparently he is charged in the homicide of his father at 11 years old. When I first saw this, which was last night, I was looking on Facebook and it came up. I read it and I was kind of like I am now, like I didn't even know what to say. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is, my situation. This is what we're dealing with. My son is 11 years old and he's having a lot of issues, and we fought for a year to try to get him the help that he needs. The help that he needs is residential placement so that he can get fully evaluated and, medicated correctly and all of that. And it is a hard, long process. You have to constantly fight. You can't give up. You have to fight every little step to get every little thing in place for your child. Which if he were an adult and he said, I don't feel right, he goes to the ER, they'd say, okay, they'd check him in and do like a, 2-3 day evaluation, see if they could help, put in recommendations to go see a psychiatrist or this therapy or that or whatever, and they would help. But because he's a child, you don't get that. And I totally understand what this mother was going through. It really hit home. Because you're dealing with a different situation. It's not your biological child where you have the freedom to say, look, my kid has an issue and I need to get them help, and go to whoever and, ask for help, beg for help, go to the next person and beg and plead. You have that stigma that you are told from the very beginning of being a foster to adopt parent that if you can't take care of these kids, then you will be losing them. They will be taken away from you. You will be charged with child abandonment. You will be in jail. And they will take away all of your children, not just the one that you're having problems with. But then on the other hand, you're also not given the full information. 95% of the time, you don't have the full medical history of the family. You don't have the genetic information. You don't have access to these family members to call up and say, hey, my child's going through this or that. Is this something that you have issues with other people in your family? You can't do that. You have to go to the doctor and start from zero and try to figure it out from beginning to end. And most doctors don't want to deal with that. Most doctors just want to put a label on the child saying, oh, they're a bad kid. Oh, they're traumatized. They went through, foster care. God knows what they dealt with. It's just a trauma issue. Put them in therapy and they'll be okay. That's not the end all be all. Like, that's not going to correct the problem. And the fact that the state foster care system would like to hand you the child with no background. I mean, to be quite honest, when you adopt a dog, you get more information than what you get from adopting a child. The family members do not have to give their medical history. They don't have, with HIPAA and all of that, they don't have to give all that. Well, what about HIPAA for the child? What about, what's best for them? This isn't just about, family secrets coming out and, information that should be, kept quiet and private. This is a child's life. This is how things affect them. And not being told this information affects them in a negative way, in, the full opposite direction. And this is not spoken about. I mean, and now you have kids across the country that are dealing with mental health issues. They're getting into the age of puberty and they can't handle themselves. And that's when things start coming out. And as a adopted, foster to adopted parent, you're again told you're going to lose your kid. Don't go back to DCP&P and tell them that you are having trauma with this kid, and don't, go and try to push the limits and get your kid help, because then it's seen as you don't know how to deal with your child, and they will be taken away and you will be punished for that. There's just something severely wrong with the system across this country. And it's happening more and more and more. And I do not understand why a simple thing of making a law that a child has rights to their family medical history and giving them access to that. So when they get older, if anything pops up, medically, mentally, whatever, if they need to know what's in their DNA that they aren't aware of and why they have these issues, to connect the dots, that would greatly help a lot of kids, a lot of families. It would save a lot of people from getting hurt or getting killed. And I don't understand why this is not an issue that is brought to light that, we really need to make a change. We need to do something.